Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. So today's video is going to be on the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I'm going to be doing a review on this foundation. This is not going to be a first impression. I have been using this foundation for about 4 or 5 days now, almost a week. I'm going to show you a demo of me trying on the foundation and also just going to talk about it as well. So this is what the foundation looks like. It comes in a plastic bottle. I kind of thought it'd be glass, but I'm not really that fussed about it. It's in a plastic bottle and it's quite square. It reminds me a lot of the NARS like Sheer Matte and Sheer Glow foundations, and it's actually 35ml. Okay, so I'm gonna read exactly what it says, what it's been described as. The foundation is described as offering a seamless full coverage matte finish that outlasts any other that we've tried. This frankly fabulous formula will last through even the wildest of weather, workouts or emotional outbursts, though we hope it won't have to. Water resistant and practically budge proof, this opaque base is blessed with a beautiful petal-esque perfume enriched in skin nourishing argan oil to respect your complexion as it instantly perfects. Packed with skin unifying pigments to impart a gorgeous demi-matte but never flat effect. A little of this goes a long way, so start with the tiniest bead and build up to achieve an HD ready finish. The nemesis of blemishes, this effortlessly covers up a multitude of skins, from breakouts to scarring, dark spots and blackheads. It even disguises tattoos. Brilliant for bruises, it's ideal if you're braving bare legs. This guarantees a seamless finish that stays flawless all day long, especially when layered over Huda Beauty's Complexion Perfection Primer. Okay, so I'm going to prime my face. This is the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer. I'm just going to apply this to my T-zone area. I've already moisturized. I used my sunscreen as my moisturizer, so my face may have already looked, I've literally broken my nails. My face may have already looked grey to begin with, so just letting you know. Just going to do it as I usually do it. So I'm going to apply a bit of the RCMA powder all over my T-zone area. And that's just going to help also with reducing oil. I found that it's easier to use a brush as opposed to a beauty blender. So I'm going to be using one of my brushes actually. This is one of my collaboration brushes with Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. I didn't actually show much of it in my last video, in the full face YouTube collab video, so I'm going to feature it in this video. And also the entire set is 50% off, so I'm going to put the link in the description box. So I'm not going to color correct, just so I can see how well it covers and if it does do what it says. So I'm just going to apply it to my face. The smell, it smells like perfume, so it has like a perfume smell, kind of like those perfumes that your parents, like your mum has, or you're not allowed to touch. The very like old school, mature, like grown up perfume. Some people like it. I'm not really a big fan of like perfumed foundations, but I don't think it's going to affect my skin in any way. So far anyway, it hasn't like reacted to my skin anyway, so that's fine. So this is literally, I'm going to do one side of my face. This is like one pump and it's still applying. I had kind of the same thing I have on this side, like all these dark spots. I had it on this side and it's literally covered, pretty much covered everything. I'm going to apply this to my face. And also my under eye. I've got dark under eye circles, so that should also cover it. And also got like a dark, the top of my lip is also quite dark too. So we're going to apply it there. I haven't applied it to my forehead yet. So this is pretty much like 1.5. So I have a tiny little bit there, 1.5 to 2 pumps. I think I'll probably be set with 2 pumps. I think 1 pump is certainly not enough, but this is 2 pumps. So I've gotten away with just using 2 pumps, and this is just for like a normal finish. Another brush you could probably use is this one by Real Techniques as well. It's also good at applying and buffing into the skin. So I'm just doing that. This is my entire face done. I was able to use 2 pumps and it has covered everything. My under eye isn't as dark as it was. Above my lip has covered it, but not completely. But the main areas were like the sides of my face where all the dark spots are, and it's literally covered the entire area. It is actually ridiculous. It doesn't feel cakey or tight on my face. I feel like I have nothing on my face. I can move my face a lot and it doesn't feel like I have something, you know, quite thick on my face, despite the fact that it's matte. It feels matte. So yeah, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna apply the rest of my makeup and then I'm gonna see what the entire face looks like. Okay, so this is the finished look. I've done my entire face. So far, I'm really loving this foundation. I like the fact that it doesn't feel like I can honestly move my face. It doesn't feel like I have anything on my face. It just looks so flawless. All my blemishes, all my spots and dark marks were covered. My under eye, there were some little bit areas where, you know, you can still see skin, which is good. You don't want to look completely caked up. So I had to add a tiny bit of my concealer, which is like my NW45 concealer. That has more red in it, so it kind of helped with those dark areas. Maybe if I had color corrected initially, maybe that might have made it look better, but I didn't want to use any extra color. I just wanted to show you the foundation on its own. I didn't want to show you anything else, you know, before it, underneath it, you know, that kind of thing, just to show you how good of a coverage it is. Do I think it's a matte finish foundation? I think the demi matte description is a little bit more accurate. It's not like a drying matte where it's dry for the rest of the day. I feel like it adds a little bit of, like, I wouldn't say it's dewy, but it just looks, your skin looks healthy. So it's been about 7 hours, about 7-8 hours now, and this is what my face looks like. It is quite shiny. So I haven't blotted my face since I've had this foundation on, and it's been about 7-8 hours now. So I feel like from the 5th to 6th hour, after the 6 hour mark, it starts to look like this. Honestly, guys, please tell me if it does or not. Does it oxidize? I'm not sure if I contoured too much, and my contour concealer is quite red, so maybe that's what is making it look a lot red. It's like, it feels very red on me, but it is my shade, but it's just that it turns red. So I think what I'm gonna do is try and contour with a cool toned color and see if that makes a difference. So as you can see, like around my nose, around my cheeks where I usually would be oily, it is quite oily, even despite me using that powder. I don't know if I didn't apply enough, but I'm gonna try it again tomorrow. I'm gonna apply the powder and also use a cool toned contour and see if it makes a difference. I'm gonna use a powder and not a liquid concealer. I'm just gonna use a powder and see if it makes a difference, but I don't know. What do you guys think? It reminds me a lot of the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I don't know, I feel that's the vibe I was getting from that foundation. And yeah. You can tell I have makeup on. I don't feel it on my face. That's the interesting thing. I don't feel I have anything on my face, but it looks like I have something. I have a lot on my face, basically. I'm gonna try one more time and then give you my final verdict. I wanted to obviously try out this foundation a few more times just so I can get a better feel of it, because I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it, but now I think I know. I definitely know how I feel about it. So it's described as a matte finish. I think it's more of a demi matte. So when you apply it, it feels quite matte on the skin, not a drying matte. She says that just the one pump, comes with a pump, she said that just the one pump is enough for your entire face, and that's not the case. Because of the consistency of this foundation, it is on the thick side. It doesn't spread out that much, if that makes sense. So one pump is not enough. Even though it's full coverage and it covers everything, you won't get an even finish, even if your skin's perfect. Like, it just won't be even. So for me, I have to use about 2 pumps. Honestly, the finish that it gives when you do apply it, it looks like filtered skin. It looks perfect. And like, I'm still looking at my face now, it looks perfect. So for me, I have oily skin, and what I have found as I have worn this It does stay matte for about 6 hours, and the matte that it doesn't look like a dry matte. It's like a matte with a glow to it, so it's not like a dry flat matte. So for about from the 6 hour mark, from then it starts looking dewy. So the way I usually apply my foundation, I did this different ways. The first time I applied it without any color corrector, just so I know how much of this product actually covers my imperfections. So that's what I'm going to be showing you in the demo. I don't use any color correctors or any concealers, just a foundation, and it just shows you what happens. It does cover up everything. The coverage is brilliant. For me, one pump did not do the job. I watched a lot of people, and one pump is just not enough. Like, it's not possible, because like I said, it just doesn't spread out like that because of how thick it is. It doesn't spread out enough to be able to cover up a large area, so you would have to use a little bit more. I found that the Beauty Blender did nothing for it. It just didn't seem to work with it very well. So I went for like the Real Techniques brush, which looks like this, or my brush from my collection with Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, this brush here. I didn't get her brush because I didn't feel like I needed it. Technique was a mixture of swirling and like dabbing, like stippling, you know, so that's what I used. This one kind of spreads it out a little bit more. This one kind of just like pushes it into the skin. But honestly, the finish it gives you is perfect. It's just a really nice finish. Now, I never said what my shade was. I am 500G Mocha, and it's 500G, so it's golden. So obviously you know that my skin undertone is neutral, but this is golden. There were hardly any neutrals. There were 5 categories of shades: fair, light, medium, tan, and rich. So the darkest shades were rich, and I fell under the rich, just the first shade in the rich category, and there weren't any neutrals. They were all gold and red. I think it was just gold and red. When I first saw the swatches, I was kind of put off because they all looked kind of grey and like green looking. I was like, we are not like the sisters are not going to be happy with this. And I felt like the pictures really put off people in the beginning, until she brought out more swatches, and then she also has like a chart on her blog that shows the shade matches with other foundations, and including the Fenty Beauty as well, in case you had that. You know, for me, I'm still not able to find my shade, and I've made my piece of that. It's not by force. She did like a comparison of different shades and then put her shades in there, so if you wonder what shade you were and if you owned those foundations, you were able to find your match. So for me, I just felt like this was the better match for me. The one after it was too dark, too red. The one before was kind of like yellow but light, and this one is golden. To me, it's a good shade, but it's not a neutral. You know, it's a lot more warmer, and what I also found was that it did warm up after a while. So I first thought maybe I contoured too much. My contour was quite red, and maybe I must have contoured too much, so I contoured less. I actually didn't contour with liquid. I happened to contour with the KKW contour kit, so I used both the warm and the grey looking one. I said in my review I had no use for the grey, but it definitely came in handy this time. So when I first applied it, it did look like it would be a good like neutral shade matte, but then after a while it does warm up. I mean, right now it's okay. It's only been about a couple of hours, but like I said, I've tried it a few times, and after a while it does get quite warm, quite red. She's brought out 30 shades, which is amazing for, you know, she describes herself as an indie brand. She did an amazing job bringing out 30 shades. I'm just hoping that she works on the undertones a bit more. She has said that she will be bringing out some more as people request them, which is great. When I swatched a few of the other shades, they were looking a little bit on the, I don't know, like on the green side. Is it just me? Like, did anyone notice this? It's kind of slightly green. I actually bought mine online. I never actually went out to get matched, so I would definitely recommend with this foundation, please go and get matched in the store, because it is so difficult to go by the website, go by the shade, the shades that we're giving on the website. I would go and try that out. I think this foundation would have been a great match if it didn't get darker or warmer. But like I said, it might just be because this is a golden foundation, and I'm usually neutral, and what I found with my Kat Von D, which is a neutral foundation that I use, it doesn't change color, it stays the same. If you want something to wear on a night out where you're sweating and it's hot, this might not be the one for you. But I have not tested that out yet. I will test it out. I will probably let you guys know on Snapchat how it's fared for me on a night out. I'll probably wear it out tomorrow. The longest I've worn it is for 12 hours, and for the 12 hours it did get very dewy. Now I don't mind a little bit of blotting here and there. It's not so bad, but my main issue is just the fact that it changes color. That's all it is. It gets quite red for me. Or maybe just bring out some more shades, a lot more in between neutral shades. That will be great. But besides that, this is a good foundation, and a big congrats to her for, you know, bringing these out. I know she's bringing out some other stuff as well. If you have tried it out, let me know what you think. And actually I use another shade. I use cinnamon. Is it cinnamon? Yeah, for my chest, because I have acne, like random acne scars, acne spots. So obviously when I'm wearing like low cut tops and, you know, like cleavage revealing tops and whatever, I have to put something on there. And that shade cinnamon is a perfect match for my chest. Cinnamon is a lot lighter than mocha. It's a perfect match. I think it's like 2 shades lighter. Let me just double check. Cinnamon is, yeah, 2 shades lighter than mocha. Just to show you what my chest is a different shade to my body. That's probably the lightest part of my body and my thighs. But anyway, so yeah, that's a perfect match. I feel like this foundation is very good for covering tattoos, covering scars, covering marks, and you can mix it with your bronzer and everything. So yeah. So in terms of coverage, it's perfect for that. I would probably recommend this foundation more for the driest skin people, because even though it's matte, it still gives like a glow to your skin. It still looks kind of like dewy but not dewy, if that makes sense. So the dry skin people probably might fare a little bit better in terms of, you know, the wear and the look of it. Because when she said it was suitable for both dry and oily or all skin types, I was like, how is that gonna be possible? I feel like one skin type will have to suffer, and I feel like it's the oily skin people, because it does not stay matte all day. So it's not a stay matte all day foundation. Well, is it something I will reach for on a regular basis? Maybe if I want that kind of dewy glowy look, yeah, I guess maybe for a few hours. But for like an all-nighter, I will stick to my Kat Von D, because I don't really find myself overly having to blot unless I'm in an extremely hot place, like in a club where there's like literally no air whatsoever. Maybe in the winter time you might want to look a little bit more dewy, so this could be a good winter foundation. In the summer, I would not recommend it. No, I wouldn't recommend it in the summer. But that's it for the video. I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.